The next update we have is an answer to the complaint. This time it is from Fawn and Keith because they are also defendants separately in the initial complaint from Farm Credit. Now, here's where we differ. The receiver answered the complaint and put a counterclaim together in 19 pages. Fawn and her lawyers used 49 pages. Why is it more pages? The majority of the things that they have put in this answer are literally the same answers as the receiver, except he would just put number 19 admitted, number 20 admitted, number 21 denied, blah 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 blah. They basically copied and pasted the entire complaint and then put either admitted or denied, and then if it was denied in part, they would put an explanation. You really didn't have to put the whole complaint part in there because we already know what the complaint is. If the judge needs to go back and look at the complaint to compare the two to your answer to what they're saying, he can do that. But this is just excessive litigiousness, if you're asking me. But I'm not an attorney and I don't know. I just see one person answering one way and one person answering another way. And it's like one of them does this all the time, one of them does not. But let's not get stuck on that, okay? Let's keep going. Here's where they differ. The receiver said, hey, get them attorney fees, costs, or whatever, and let's keep it moving. Fawn and Keith said, don't get them nothing. They don't need no attorney fees, no costs, no nothing. No, that they do admit they are in default for the loans, which is how we got here to begin with. So I don't know how you would say they can't get no attorney's fees when they got to go to attorneys to get their money from you. You owe them people their money for that. So under the prayer for relief, they say each defendant denies the plaintiffs are entitled to any relief whatsoever. Therefore, all paragraphs contained in the prayer for relief are denied. They want the plaintiffs to be held accountable for paying for all legal fees and expenses incurred by each and every defendant in this case, and that this matter be dismissed with prejudice. So basically, they're like, Farm Credit don't need to get no fees, no money, don't need to get nothing. Okay. Basically, they said, dismiss me and Keith from this lawsuit. We didn't have nothing to do with this. Also, y'all are the ones that's wrong because y'all didn't do your due diligence to mitigate this issue. So you have an employee stealing from you. You know that they're stealing from you. When you find out they're stealing from you, you don't immediately fire them. They work for almost another year at your company because your shareholders like him and have a good relationship with him. But you feel like Farm Credit is solely responsible for all of these problems? I don't know about that. I don't know that that makes sense. And to write it down and say it. Okay. At the end, Curtis is asking for a jury trial. So, we'll see if that gets granted. So yeah, that was the answers to the initial complaint. And we'll see if they come up with dates to coordinate this trial if it were to happen. So, stay tuned.